I came over here because I was looking at somebody's content, and she was telling the mother, it was just a mother, and she pretty much was telling the little boy that he had to share with his cousins. And he said, it's mine. He said, it's personally mine. Mommy, why do I have to share something that you gave to me? It's not fair. It's mine. And I want to talk about that because I have literally got into arguments about this. The little boy, it's like the mom thought about it. She said, you know what? How about this? You keep that toy. And then she went and got them some other shorts, and then you pay for it for a while, and then y'all switch up. He said, he said, okay, but you can tell that he didn't want to share his personal things. And I want to talk about that. So I get into arguments about this topic with my friends. Even, I ain't gonna say my husband did not agree with me at first. Because he was like, after he said, I think that's kind of a trauma response. And maybe, I said, but all trauma responses are not bad. He said, the reason you think that way. But I raised my kids not to share their things. Like, and I want to know, do anybody else see where I'm coming from? Because everybody I have talked to, they be like, but when I explain it, okay, so we're military, and like in the military, you're like living in a bubble. So all kids, no matter race, background, pretty much all the NCO wives hang together, all the officer wives hang together, so on and so on. And so when the husband leave, we would kind of like become a community. Like we probably pretty much be each other husbands. Like, I ain't gonna say be each other husbands, but we be the other half. Like if somebody need their kids picked up, if you need to take your kid, if you need anything, your sister and like that's a spouse will help you. It's like an unwritten rule. We just help each other, and that's how it is in the military. And I remember one time, it was my turn to keep the kids. So I had like 4 children. And my son had both of my sons. Okay, so I know this is a little excessive. I don't like my kids to argue. So I will always buy 2 of everything. So both of my kids had a PlayStation. Both of my children had a Xbox. My husband had his own PlayStation. My husband had his own Xbox. I figured this, my kids have been like this for a long time. If both of them want something, I buy their own separate. So we will sometimes have maybe 1, 2, 3 of the same things in our house, because I just could not deal with kids bickering back and forth and arguing. I really didn't keep too many. I kept, my door was always an open revolving door, but I didn't keep too many kids at my house. I did babysit, but I mostly was over a center. Like I worked at daycare centers, I worked for Head Start, I worked for school age programs, stuff like that. So that's how come a lot of the kids know me. And I always looked out for the kids, but I didn't have too many kids running in and out of my house unless you were my friends closest, like unless you was some of my closest friends. Long story short, this incident came up, and I ain't gonna lie, both of my friends side-eyed me, but I didn't care. I didn't back down. So my one of my closest friends' son came out of the room, and he said, Miss Shay, DJ won't share. And I said, he won't share what? And he was like, the PlayStation. I was like, it's his PlayStation. He was like, you're supposed to share. I was like, who said that? He said, my mom. I said, well, the rules here, if it's his personal stuff, he don't have to share like that. And he was like, what do you mean he don't have to share? I said, it's his. I said, it's his. I was like, you can't demand someone to share their personal items. It's his. And he was like, so when he comes to my house, he kind of got upset with me. He was like, well, Miss Shay, when he comes to my house, I'm not going to let him play with my game. And I said, okay. And he looked at me. I was like, you cannot demand for other people's things. And he said, why not? I said, because it's there. I said, how we don't know that it's sentimental? He was like, well, they teach us you're supposed to share. I said, I don't think people should share their personal items. If it's something that means to them and is theirs, you shouldn't have to share it. He said, why? I said, because it belongs to them. It belongs to them. I said, if that's the case, anytime somebody come up and ask you for something that, if I had a car and your mama asked, hey, can I borrow your car? Can I use your car? And I say no. And she say, why? Because it's mine. Like, I taught my kids, if I pay for it and it's at the house, they don't have to share anything that's personal. And my friend kind of confronted me about it. She was like, Shay, how is that a way to raise the kids? She was like, now if they at school, they're going to be getting in fight because they don't want to share. I said, but that don't belong to them. She said, what do you mean? I said, this is the rule in my house. Anything that belongs to my kids in their house, they do not have to share, and I will not make them share. I pay for it. and I gave it to them. It is theirs. They don't have to share. But when they go to that school, nothing at that school that I did not pay for does not belong to them. So if I go in that school and my kids are crying because another kid won't let them play with a toy, it's going to be fucking problems. When my kids want something, if they did what they supposed to do that day, get it. It was an incident with my son in Legos. My son was obsessed with Legos. And when I picked him up, he had been crying. I said, "What are you crying for?" He was like, "Because I wanted to play with the Star Wars Legos." I said, "Okay." He said, and they didn't share it. And I said, "So why are you crying?" He was like, "Because I want to play with it." I said, "Is it yours?" He said, No, it's not mine." I said, "What is the rule? Everything that you did not pay for does not belong to me, so I am not entitled to it." That is what I told my children. That is what I told my children. Anything that I or their father did not pay for, they are not entitled to. If you didn't, or if they didn't work for it, they are not entitled to. So you do not get mad about other people's things. Did you have a good day? Yes. Did you get on green? Yes, mommy, I got on green. Okay, let's go to the PX and we'll get you the toy that you're looking for. And I did it every time. Every time my kids had an incident to where it came to sharing, if they were on green or they had a good day, everybody can't do this. This is how I raise my children. I would take them and because my kids really were no bad kids. Like my son used to throw his little temper tantrum, but he only did it when his dad would deploy. That was like his acting out. But I never had a problem with them stealing or being disrespectful or being disrespectful in school. I just don't teach my children to share. I feel like I don't know. I just think I think it's a form of torture to sit there and watch your cousins. Because it used to be like torture to me to sit there and watch your cousins or watch somebody take your personal things and you let them play or do whatever they want to do with it and then give it back to you. Now you can have it back. That's like, I just think it was, I remember my mom making me, wear my shoes one time and she messed them up and she did it on purpose because she knew I didn't want her to wear them. So she messed up my stuff. Like, sometimes kids can be cruel and they will fuck your shit up just because you don't want them to have it. And it was never theirs to begin with. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I know this. I know my kids, after about kindergarten, first grade, that shit, it didn't bother. When somebody wants something, they'll just give it to them. They'll just give it to them. Even to this day, if I didn't pay for it, here you go. And they didn't feel no type of way about it. Because when they got home, they could do whatever they want. If you come to my house and you tell my kids, "Oh, you supposed to share," my kids gonna tell you to kiss their ass. No, this is mine. This is my house. These are my rules. If your kids come to my house, make sure they bring their own toys. Because guess what? I'm not gonna make them share their toys with anybody else because you paid for it. I tell everybody, if your kids coming at my house, bring their toys. Now, what my husband used to do, because he knew I wasn't with making my kids share. What my husband used to do, he would let them play on his game, like the extra kids. He would let the extra kids, or my daughter, because my daughter had a PlayStation too, and she had an Xbox too, but she never played it. So she'd be like, "Y'all can play my stuff because I don't even play." She just used it to watch DVDs, but I would never, like, but she would, just because they got, she'd be like, "I want one," and I just get her one just to shut her the hell up. I don't know. It works for me. My kids don't cry. My kids don't touch stuff that don't belong to them. They don't steal. And they understand, like, even with to me, I feel like they take rejection better. Like, if it's something there, they can't have it, they'll just go get it themselves. Like, even my daughter, when it's something, my daughter said, when it's doing that for me, you doing that for me made me realize if I want something, I just go get it myself. Like, my kids don't even ask people for nothing. Like, they don't even ask. If my daughter said, "If it ain't you or daddy, I don't ask for it." And I asked her, "What about Matthew?" I was like, she said, "If Matthew don't figure out that I need something, then I won't ask him for it. Why would I?" My daughter she only ask, she just go get. My daughter don't respect boundaries. I be cussing her ass out about all. Everybody in the house be cussing my daughter out about everything. But my boys, I think it's a form of cruelty. Like, you sitting there watching somebody use your shit because it's a nice, because you supposed to share because it's polite. Some stuff ain't meant. No, let that bitch wear your drawers. I have never taught my children to share their personal items. If they at school and it's toys there and somebody want it, the rule is you better automatically give it to them. You better give it to them because it's not yours. It's not yours. It is not yours. And my kids know this. That is the one rule that I don't play about. That is the one rule that I don't play about. If anybody told you that I love you, I love you. Happy reading.